You got to manage your building costs, you just got to plan very carefully, and you got to plan for your particular market. For example, when you're looking at a house like this, right from the start, before it even goes onto the drawing board, you know approximately what your sell price is going to be, or what your target sell price is going to be. And at a certain target sell price, you know exactly what you need to put into it in terms of windows and appliances and floors and tile and countertops and finishes, right? And so you plan to those finishes, and you build your budget to those finishes, and then you got to manage prudently. They had kind of a blessing fall into their lap on this one, because the original lumber bid that we got, it took a long time to get the permit for this, but the original lumber bid we got was higher by about $50,000 than the lumber bid we got 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Lumber has gone down that much for a project of this magnitude. Lumber has gone down that much.
Wow.
In just that time period, from
Amazing.
from July of last year to January of this year. So they just saved $50,000.
With a traditional builder, though,
that might not happen.
That probably wouldn't happen, because everybody agreed on the price. The builder said, hey, it is what it is. I'm saving some money. I'm making it, right?
Right. Contract price, and the builder kind of rolls the dice. The builder might have won, might have lost, right? But in this case, the owner is the one that's going to win.
So when you're the owner builder, if things go up or down, you get that benefit.
You win or you lose.
It goes both ways. Right?
Yes, that's exactly right. Next year we're going into a presidential election year. We'll start a presidential election cycle anyway. And because we're starting that cycle, historically, you can go back 80 years in the United States, historically what's going to happen is interest rates are likely to go back down. They're probably likely to go back down anyway, but the presidential election cycle is going to help that a lot.
So if I can keep
we're optimistic.
Yeah. So even if the interest rates go up, the owner builder approach allows a person to keep the building costs low, because there's no middleman, there's no markup. Everything they purchase is the price they get it for.
Yeah, absolutely,
like
100%. You're right. No middleman, completely transparent. A dollar spent is a dollar billed. It's just that simple. There's just no question about it.
What does HomeWrights bring to the table for the owner builder?
It's as if we are the giant builder that's in the background, and each of these owner builders are job superintendents for the giant builder. And so we're in the background, making sure that the subcontractors are good, making sure that the budgets are right, making sure that the banks are in line, making sure that the vendors all have good intentions, making sure that the pricing is right on those things, making sure that our superintendents, our owner builders, have a good schedule to work from, and then helping them with scheduling and budgeting and inspections, making sure the permitting is all easy squeezy, and then visiting the job site with them as much as possible, or as much as they need us to, holding their hand basically every step of the way.
Sure.
And I'm always reluctant to use that expression, holding their hand, because there's some people just don't like hearing that. So another way to think of it maybe is, we are like the Sherpa. Our clients still have to make the climb, okay?
Right.
But we're there to help them carry the gear and to make sure they take the right path.
You've been up that path many times.
We've been up that path so many times, and we're comfortable with that path. We could do it in our sleep.
So let me ask about that. How long has HomeWrights been in business doing this owner-builder process?
20 years, 400 homes, easily more than $400 million in completed projects.
Wow. Where does one begin with this whole process?
A little bit of a chicken and egg thing there, because we have to have some kind of a drawing, some kind of inspiration to start with. And sometimes our clients, sometimes a potential client will come to us and their inspiration is nothing more than something they saw in a magazine, or something they saw, maybe they saw something on the internet. That's their inspiration house. They want to build something that looks just like that.
Sure.
Or they went on a Parade of Homes tour and they saw an inspiration house. And typically what we can do is we can take that inspiration house and we can kind of ballpark it and say, that's going to cost you X. And if they're comfortable with X, then the next step is, let's sit down with a professional draftsman or an architect. Let's get those plans drawn, okay? Maybe we don't have to get them ready for permit, but let's get a preliminary set of plans drawn so that we've got something we can really sink our teeth into and do some precise pricing, okay? And we can come up with a pretty darn precise, it's still preliminary, but it's a pretty darn precise preliminary budget. At that point in time, if the person is comfortable with that preliminary budget, the next step is finish the plans, go to permit, arrange financing, start getting bids, arrange the subcontractors, and we're off and running.
Cool. And so tell us about that subcontractor process. I have no idea, as a first-time custom home builder, where I'm going to find these people other than by doing a Google search, which sounds kind of scary.
You could do that. You could go ahead and search Google, or you could go to Craigslist or whatever. There's obviously a whole bunch of different resources out there for finding subcontractors, but we've done all that work. We've been working with some of our stable of vetted subcontractors. We've been working with some of them for 20 years. Right from the very first project. Some people are still with us. We've got a terrific group of subcontractors, also a terrific group of suppliers. Our clients have access to that. We walk our clients through the process of getting multiple bids. We think that's the appropriate way to manage a project. So we'll get 3 bids on the excavation, and 3 bids on the foundation, and 3 bids on framing, and 3 bids on lumber, and so on. But, and the way I like to say it is, we get an opinion, but not a vote. So if our client is sitting there with 3 bids in front of them, 3 different framers, we're going to tell them what we think about the personality and the behavioral patterns of each of those 3 framers.
Because you've worked with them for 20 years.
We've worked with them for 10, 15, 20 years. Our client then gets the opportunity to say, you know what, I think this one is going to fit the best. It's not always a price question.
Sure.
Sometimes our clients don't pick the least expensive guy because there are other aspects that they're very interested in, like how big is the crew and how fast are they going to work, and a number of other things. But it's not always the cheapest guy. Sometimes it's just who they think is going to be the best fit for them. We don't make the decision; the client does. It's a simple system, and the distinction between this system and a traditional system, it's a simple distinction. Just make it completely transparent. Mm-hmm. Just make it so that the homeowner has all the control and all the creative influence in there. So it's just simple, and because of that, it's dramatically different, and we think it's better. And obviously, a lot of our clients do too, especially the ones that come back and do it again. So here's the thing that I really want people to understand about HomeWrights and about our owner-builder process. First of all, I don't know of anybody else that does an owner-builder process like this. We've got it dialed in. We've done it so many times, 400 homes, and so many different personalities. We know how to make this work for just about any kind of different person, any kind of different personality. Second thing that I think is really important for everybody to know is, you may not picture yourself as a home builder, but you've got the skills. Everybody that's walked into our door has been a little bit timid about their skill set, and they may say something like, "Gee, I don't know wall boards from floorboards. I don't know any of that stuff." But the truth is, that's not the skill set you bring. The skill set you bring is managing people and managing money and managing a calendar. That's the skill set. And almost everybody has that skill set, at least to some degree. And then we've got the tool set or the toolkit to help fill that out or to help make that happen. Our system is it's simple, it's different for sure, okay? And it's absolutely better. It's a terrific way to build a custom home.